Welcome to Vintage Firearms with LT Arms. In this episode, we discuss the life of Grancel Fitz, a professional photographer who specialized in commercial photo illustration for the advertising industry. Based in New York City, Fitz worked from 1920 into the late 1940s. Even today, he's considered a pioneer in the field, a giant of the trade, whose portfolio has stood the test of time. In his career, he won 8 national prizes, and his work was once a featured exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art. So why are we talking about a Madison Avenue ad photographer here on Vintage Firearms? Because Grancel Fitz spent most of his time off as one of the greatest big game hunters of his day. This is his story.
Grancel Fitz was born on August 17, 1894 in Philadelphia. By age 7, he was hunting in the hills by the Susquehanna River. This passion for fair chase burned intensely, and once he became an established professional photographer with national accounts such as Chevrolet, AT&T, Ivory Soap, Ipana Toothpaste, and many others, he could afford to fully indulge his passion. Fitz hunted all over the world, from India and Africa to South America and beyond. Most notably, though, Fitz was the first hunter to complete a harvest of all the North American big game species then recognized by the Boone and Crockett Club. He was a firm believer in the one-rifle philosophy and used only his Remington Model 30 and .30-06 to take his bag. The rifle was thoroughly customized by Griffin and Howe, the gunsmiths at Abercrombie & Fitch in Manhattan, when that company was a world-famous outfitter and not a teen clothing line. Gunsmith James Howe was the author of the 2-volume work on gunsmithing, still highly regarded as a textbook on the subject today. Stockmaker Seymour Griffin was lauded by Fitz in a 1959 Sports Illustrated article describing the rifle in detail. The Griffin and Howe Company still exists today, building some of the world's finest custom firearms. Fitz was a grand raconteur, writing magazine articles reporting on his big game hunting adventures for magazines such as Field and Stream, Outdoor Life, Argosy, True, and Sports Illustrated. His singular focus developed in his mind in the 1930s, and he began his pursuit of the North American species list. In 1957, his book North American Headhunting was published by Oxford University Press. Detailing all his major hunts, it remains a classic in the field of sporting literature. As he states in the foreword, "About 25 years ago, after I'd been lucky enough to bag a couple of exceptionally fine big game trophies in Wyoming and in Alberta, it struck me that there were 2 things that I would like to do. First of all, I wanted to collect one good representative of every legal big game species on the whole North American continent, for this was something that had never been done by any single hunter. Then, after that project was completed, I wanted to write a special kind of book about it." Chapters on each species feature his inimitable style and make for a thrilling read as we join Fitz on his adventures. In his time, just getting to the hunting locales could be an adventure in its own right, and his reports describe an exciting era of travel and adventure. The numbers and records are terrific. Over the course of 38 trips from 1926 to 1955, Fitz became the first man in history to collect all 24 classes of big game in North America. Among them were 13 records, including grizzly, cow's deer, pronghorn, elk, and bison. Many of these heads were placed on specimen display in the American Museum of Natural History and the National Collection of Heads and Horns. As the project progressed, Fitz was instrumental in developing the big game trophy measurement and recording system for the Boone and Crockett Club, the same system we utilize today. He was a bit of a celebrity, too, in an America that still celebrated hunting in the mainstream media and was once even featured in a Hiram Walker whiskey ad. The ad copy here says, "Grancel Fitz. He has hunted every kind of North American big game, and his unmatched personal collection includes record-class heads of 10 different species. His British Columbia grizzly, shot in 1953 near the Kleenecleny River, tied the 63-year-old world record. Official score of skull, 25 9/16." In 1948, he published a story titled "A Grand Slam in Rams," coining the term to describe collecting all 4 North American bighorn sheep species. Famed sheep hunter and shooting editor at Outdoor Life, Jack O'Connor, lamented the advent of this notion, writing, "Fitz knew not what he wrought. The achievement struck hunters as being the most prestigious caper a big game hunter could pull off. It became the holy grail of American hunting, and dozens of people started working toward it. The term Grand Slam and the attendant publicity have made the mountain sheep the most prestigious American trophy. All this whiplaw is a very sad thing. I wish Grancel Fitz hadn't started it all. The old-timers hunted sheep because they loved sheep, because they loved to be up on those high, wind-swept ridges where they shared the sheep pastures with the sheep, the grizzly, the hoary marmot, the soaring eagle. When they brought back a ram trophy, they were not seeking honor or prestige. They were bringing back memories of icy winds, fragrant with fir and balsam, of the smell of sheep beds and Arctic willow, of tiny, perfect alpine flowers, gray slide rock, velvet sheep pastures. The old-timers had sheep and sheep country in their blood. Not so today's hunters. They're after glory, and the sooner they can get this tiresome business over with and slap those ram heads on the wall, the better they like it. O'Connor alleged that the Grand Slam had created a tremendous amount of lying, poaching, and cheating. We don't have any record of O'Connor and Fitz ever discussing it, but Fitz did name O'Connor in the article as the fifth man to achieve the Grand Slam. As noted in our O'Connor video, the old sage of the sheep hunters did it numerous times. Any other details are lost to the ages, yet still today, bighorn sheep hunting is widely considered the pinnacle experience in North American hunting. A hunter until the end, in September 1962, Fitz was in the Mato Grosso in Brazil, hunting jaguar, when he suffered a heart attack. Though he survived and made it back to New York, he never fully recovered, succumbing to heart disease at Roosevelt Hospital in May of 1963, age 68. His obituary ran in the New York Times: an artist, a businessman, a naturalist, a conservationist, an author, and a big game hunter whose legend lives on in the annals of the Boone and Crockett Club record books.